Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we're going to talk about the new movie Operation Finale. This will be a non-spoilers review, so let's get into it. So, the new World War II-esque movie Operation Finale was a film I was looking forward to, honestly. I saw the trailer and I thought it was pretty good. And then I saw the film, and I can totally, without a hint of doubt, say that this is an example of a movie where the trailer is better than the final product. Because this movie, not very good. It is made by a filmmaker called Chris Weitz. I've never heard of him before. I don't know his filmography or whatever. But I thought he did a pretty bad job. And overall, this movie itself, I mean, from writing to directing to tone to music, it was all just so meh. I thought this was really just a nice ball of clay type movie where it had so much potential to be something so great, and then it wasn't. And that really stinks, because this film had some pretty heavy hitters cast-wise. I mean, you had Oscar Isaac from, Star Wars and stuff. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's a top-level actor. And you also have Ben Kingsley, and I mean, his resume stretches forever. And I mean, they were both great. And there were some other good performances too, and stuff. But I mean, nothing really, noteworthy other than those two. I will say, though, that Ben Kingsley did steal the show, but, I don't know. I was expecting a lot more from this movie, and this is kind of dark. Yeah, it's better. And it just didn't hit with me. It didn't portray the seriousness that I wanted, and I had no idea about this story and this movie. Again, no spoilers, but I'll give you a quick rundown. This movie, I mean, it's, at the end of World War II, when, Germany and the Nazis, they knew they were losing. They, some either killed themselves, or some just, went away into hiding or surrendered or whatever, and there's this huge political figure, was one of Adolf Hitler's, top level men, and his name was also Adolf, and I'm gonna butcher his name, but I'll try. It was Adolf Enreich, I think is his name, and that's who Ben Kingsley plays. And he just vanished. Like no one could find him. The Allies couldn't find him after World War II. He just gone. They couldn't bring him in for questioning or give him a trial or execution or anything like that. He just vanished, lost in history. And then this movie is about the story of finally finding him, of Israel, sending a group of people to go capture and detain him and bring him back to Israel to put him on trial for his crimes during World War II. Because Ben Kingsley's character was huge in the executions that took place in the Holocaust and the mass murder. And I mean, it was a great history lesson of who that person was, because I had no idea this man even existed until this film was released. But as the film progressed, I started noticing that they were trying to go for stuff that just wasn't working. And this might be kind of a weird film to compare it to, but I honestly felt like this movie was trying to be a lot like Argo. And I mean, Argo is a fantastic film, but I don't know anything of the source material for this film. I don't know anything of the story at all, so I don't know if what they did stretched the truth, if this was mostly fiction or if this was mostly truth, or fact based. I don't know, but it just, the way that they got the group together, the way they went after their objective, and the stakes, that's what it felt like. It felt like a cheap knockoff of Argo, which is really sad, because I wanted this movie to be fantastic, and for me it just wasn't. And I mean, obviously there are stakes. I mean, they're in, the team is from Israel. They're Jewish. They're all Jewish, and they're I mean, forgive me for not knowing, but I believe they're in the heart of Germany, or in a place where they're not welcome, because this is shortly after the war. This is in the 50s and early 60s. I mean, there are still remnants of the Nazi campaign, and that's a big part of this movie as well. And I mean, they tried to go for Argo and it just didn't land. I wanted this to be more one tone. I wanted it to just be, we are going to give you a history lesson through this film, nothing else. I wanted this to be absolutely serious, and I'm getting a phone call. I really hope that doesn't appear in the video, but I'm going to ignore it because I don't want to lose my train of thought. But like, I don't know, there were moments of light humor, which I understand that every film, needs that occasional break, that little moment for the film and the audience to breathe, like, even if it's a serious subject, you need to have even just a little bit of, light underhanded comedy. But I mean, they did that, and it kind of just, they had a nice thing going for a while, and then they do a little comedic beat, or a little splash of lightness, just to give the audience a break. But the break wasn't really warranted, because while they had a nice tone, it wasn't really the tone I was looking for. And again, this review is this review is my opinion of the film. I mean, if I'm missing something, if this went, just right over my head, I mean, for me, it just didn't click. I thought that they didn't take this as seriously as it needed to be. I mean, and as I said in the opening of this review too, there were some musical choices, not like like background music, but like the actual score of the film. I mean, there were some moments where I thought they went with something a little more upbeat when it should have been more somber. I mean, they made this film kind of almost seem like a heist-ish film, because I mean, again, I'm going to make comparisons to Argo. They have to get into into this area, which I'm sorry, I forgot, but I mean, I'm just going to call it Germany, where Ben Kingsley characters lives, for argument's sake. They have to get into Germany to capture Ben Kingsley, and they have to assume aliases and stuff, and say that they're part of this to get him out of the area, and it's all about keeping up this charade, and everything, and just the way that there are even shots in slow motion that just don't work. I mean, they tried to sell this as kind of like some suspense thriller in a way during some parts of the film, when it really isn't. It should be hard hitting, and this film certainly has moments where it's hard hitting, because there were two moments in the film which only lasted, I think both lasted under 2 minutes, but they both almost brought me to tears, because I mean, you see how terrible the Nazis could be, but then to reverse those two moments that I'm speaking of, there were really only a few moments where, those two moments I literally thought I was going to cry, and I literally gritted my teeth with anger, and I was so angry. I wanted to attack all the actors on the screen who were playing Nazis, because they did a good job of selling just their evilness, and it literally made me want to just punch them in the face, because they were just so maniacal, they were just so hate-driven. But then Ben Kingsley, he's old, he survived the war, he has been evading this whole time, and then they capture him, and he's an old man, and our group of heroes, if you want to call it that, from Israel, I mean, they interrogate him, they try to get him to talk, they try to get him to come back with them, willingly, and everything, and I mean, during this big chunk of the movie, the way that they're treating him, and the way that it just comes off, is that, at least for me, I felt that they were trying to get you to sympathize with Ben Kingsley's character, who is this, they call him the architect of the final solution. He is one of the worst to ever have been a part of the Nazi regime, and I feel like they kind of tried to make you feel sympathetic for him, because, in the movie, and I don't know if this was just part of manipulation, But I mean, in the movie, Ben Kingsley's character says that he didn't always agree with the Nazis and what they wanted to do. He was just following orders at times, which, you know, I don't know. This whole movie just came off really weird because I don't think you should have felt sympathy for, you know, Ben Kingsley's character. This movie should have been, at least in my eyes, it should have been like, yeah, like good for Israel, good for the world. We got him. Like, yes, let's go. You know, because like, I mean, they were conquering evil, but they did it in a way to where they humanized it. You know, I get it. Everybody, you know, is a human being, but I mean, some people are just, I mean, I don't know. Like, it was just really weird. You know, I felt like they really tried to make the Nazi regime seem like not okay, but just like look at it from our point of view, you know, which is just, it just felt wrong. It just felt wrong. And this movie overall was like a C plus and just filmmaking, but like just the way that they portrayed the atmosphere, it just felt misplaced and wrong. And I would almost encourage you to go see this movie, even though I don't think it's very good. I would encourage you to go see it just to see if I'm alone in this, because I mean, I don't know. This film is just, I don't think they told the story the right way. They had good, it sounded great on paper, with a great cast, you know, and good performances, but I mean, just, I don't know. I think that they could have told this differently, in a different light, with a different director, and they could have reached the same outcome. And I mean, it is, at the end of the day, a history lesson. You do learn a lot of things, but it's told in a very odd and particular way, to where you certainly weren't expecting that to come from a film like this, because you expect a film like this to be heavy hitting. I mean, it's, you know, and then, I mean, there's obviously character conflict, but like Oscar Isaac, he's the leader of the group to go get this guy, you know, and during the movie, he's telling his other people, because, you know, they finally catch him. You know, that's not a spoiler, that's a huge part of the film. They finally catch him, and they're holding him, they're trying to find a way out of here, you know, and all that, and of course, you're gonna have people on the team that's like, let's just kill him, he's terrible, you know, screw interrogation, screw the process. We have one of the most evil human beings alive in our grasp, let's just take him out, for our families, for our friends that we lost. And Oscar Isaac is like, no, we have to do this the correct way, or else, you know, they win. If we brutalize him and give in to our anger, then the Nazis win. And I was like, okay, he's the voice of reason. But then he himself is doing things like that too, to where you see him almost give in, to where you see him fight himself. And I get it, like, you know, he's trying to, you know, portray that even he has these issues, these thoughts, these ideas. Just, he's right there. You know, I could end him. But they do it so much to the point where it's almost hypocritical. You know, you never really feel like Oscar Isaac and the group is in control. You just feel like they're kind of just, you know, going on a whim. Like, okay, we got him. Let's hope for a lucky streak here. You know, and it's just, I don't know. This movie just, it could have been done so much better, and I think it deserved to be done a whole lot better. But look, I knew nothing of this film going. So if people out there have seen it, and if I'm getting this completely wrong, I want to be told that, because comment, share, like, subscribe to all the good stuff. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. And I'll see you next one.